the key in the broadcast space with all digital facilities is the key is the life cycle management of the media in each of those storage pools that we talked about. And because you don't want to fill one of them up, because then your supply chain stops. You want to effectively move. You want to have effective policies for each of those pools, so that media is protected by making an archive copy as early as possible, and then once and then have some sort of a policy where, as soon as the media over time, say after a week of time, that the media is moved off of your expensive high-speed storage to one of the larger pools of cheaper, lower-speed storage, just so that it's not creating space. It's a critical part of any digital media facility. The second part of it is digital supply chain is providing a number of options that are going to help, particularly broadcasters, move with much greater agility. I think the C-level executives in an organization, want to make major, want to take on a new sponsor or make a major programming initiative with a television network. Digital supply chain can help them see the results of their decision much faster. Quite often, I think a major initiative is launched, and sometimes it takes 60 or 90 days to see the result of that decision on the air. With digital supply chain, they can make a decision to do a major initiative, say with an advertiser, and they can get new commercials on the air in a matter of hours. And I think the networks that are able to work with that kind of agility are going to be the ones that emerge as the leaders in competing in a very competitive world. And the last thing I'll say is that with digital supply chain, the technology provides a number of options beyond traditional satellite delivery to get that content into homes. We can with a moderately high-speed internet connection, we can deliver content directly from the broadcast facility in Los Angeles directly to servers in each of our affiliate cities. It doesn't need to be transmitted via satellite, which is a very expensive service. And so as long as you have relatively non-topical programming, you can get both that programming as well as the advertising to servers by pushing the content directly. And I think you're going to see in the consulting that I've done in the last few months, we've a lot of groups that have venture capital that want to launch television networks love the fact that they'll be able to save, $60,000 a month on satellite transmission by starting with by pushing content directly to these servers in each of the markets, so they don't have to go to a satellite. Then as the business grows and their revenue model grows, then they can add a traditional satellite transmission and broaden their reach. Well, I think that doing our designs of new facilities and giving options to my clients for designing these facilities, sometimes without when you can do it without a traditional satellite transmission to begin with, I think is that's a relatively innovative approach. And it is something that's quite attractive to a couple of my clients. But I think, I've been kind of at the leading edge of fully digital technology and broadcasting now for quite some time. And Reels Channel was the second completely tapeless facility that I've been a part of the deployment of. And so I think that, kind of being one of those pioneers in the area and part of the group of the pioneers of this area, I think that probably is what makes us a good source for what works and what doesn't work, since we've covered the ground before. there are a lot of pretty big organizations out there that are still working on tape, not because they want to, because so much of their content is on tape. And I think over time we'll see continue to see the migration to all digital-based technology. But I think it certainly would be a good source for that. One of the things that we're able to do in digital media that is a challenge to do in tape media is we're able to, I was talking about using specialists in some of these areas. We're able to digital media can be offshored. So what you do is you have, for example, you have workstations here in Los Angeles that are connected to tape machines that can digitize that content into digital files. This is what you would do if, say you're somebody who owns a large videotape library, but you need to get it into digital files. Well, it's a very expensive thing to do. In this case, what we do is we set up these workstations attached to tape machines here in LA, and then we can have a company that specializes in offshoring. Somebody like Heurik Systems, they're in India. They have people that can log into the workstations remotely over the internet and control the tape machines, and they can have teams ingest this material, QC the material with a very high level of a very granular level of looking at every little video and audio quality that they can, and then over time migrate an entire library of thousands of tapes to digital media files. And so this is using digital supply chain technology, and you can offshore some of the work. It'll help. It helps lower the cost for the owners of the tape library, and gets it into digital files much quicker, and so that you can move that content to other distribution points, like we were talking about, whether it's television programming or VOD. But it does open up a whole new set of possibilities that they've had in publishing now for probably 15 years. The truth of the matter is, video on demand and digital files. The big labor-intensive aspect of that is the metadata. So everything from the title of the content to a description of what actor might be in a movie, or what athlete might be in a piece of video that's playing back at this moment. All of that is metadata, and that those files are very effective if that metadata is very rich and very descriptive, so that the content creators can easily get to that. Can easily find that content and repurpose it. So, but that's a very labor-intensive thing. There is an automation that can describe everything that's happening in a scene of a movie or in a highlight of a sporting event. And so that's where this offshoring, I think, is really going to be a powerful tool for people all over the world. And it's something I've got my eye on, and I think that's going to be a big business in the future.
Logipi.